Lisa and the Quiet World. Lisa was a quiet girl who didn't talk to anyone. At school, she always sat in the back of the class and looked out the window. She did not laugh, did not play, and never raised her hand. Other children didn't understand her, and they left her alone. Lisa didn't seem sad, but she looked far away, like she lived in a different world. Her parents didn't know what to do. "She's not like the other kids," her mother said, with worry in her voice. Her father tried to smile and said, "Maybe she just needs more time." They took her to doctors and asked many questions, but no one had clear answers. Lisa stayed silent, only nodding or shaking her head. She kept her thoughts hidden deep inside. At home, Lisa spent most of her time in her room with the door closed. She didn't watch cartoons or play with toys. She had one small wooden box under her bed, and inside it were many drawings. She loved to draw trees with no leaves, birds flying in dark skies, and small girls standing alone. No one ever saw these pictures. Lisa never showed them. One afternoon, her teacher sat beside her after class and spoke gently. "Lisa, I know it's hard," she said, "but you don't have to do this alone." Lisa looked at the teacher and blinked, surprised by her soft voice. Her lips moved just a little, but no sound came out. The teacher gave her a kind smile and didn't say anything more. That night, Lisa sat on her bed with her box of drawings. She picked one picture and held it close. It showed a girl standing in the rain, holding a red umbrella, her face quiet and lonely. Lisa stared at the drawing for a long time. Then, in a very soft voice, she whispered one word, "Why?" No one heard it, but for Lisa, it was the beginning of something new. The next day at school, Lisa walked slowly to her desk. She sat down as always, quiet and alone. But this time she looked at the teacher for a second before turning to the window. Something felt a little different, though she did not know why. She still didn't speak, but her eyes were not as far away. During lunch, a girl named Mia came and sat next to her. Mia was friendly and talked a lot, but she was kind. "Hi, Lisa," Mia said with a smile. "I like your notebook. Do you draw?" Lisa looked at Mia, then looked down. She didn't answer, but she did not walk away either. Mia just kept talking, not expecting anything. After school, Lisa opened her notebook again at home. She looked at her newest picture. It showed two girls sitting on a bench. One girl was talking, and the other was just listening. Lisa added a small smile to the quiet girl's face. It was the first time she had drawn a smile. That evening her mom knocked on the door and came in slowly. She sat beside Lisa on the bed and said, "We love you, sweetie. You don't have to talk, but we're here, always." Lisa did not speak, but she looked at her mom for a long time. Then she took her mom's hand and held it tight. Her mom's eyes filled with tears, but she smiled. Later that night, Lisa couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about Mia and her picture. She opened her box again and looked at her old drawings. They were all sad and lonely, but now, for the first time, she wanted to draw something new, something with light, something with colour. Maybe tomorrow, she thought. Maybe tomorrow I will draw the sun. The next morning, Lisa woke up early. She opened her window and looked outside. The sky was clear and blue. Birds were flying and the sun was shining on the trees. She took a deep breath. The world felt a little softer today. She picked up her pencil and began to draw. At school, Lisa saw Mia waiting near the door. "Hi again," Mia said, waving. Lisa nodded just a little. She didn't speak, but Mia noticed the change. "Can I sit with you today?" Mia asked. Lisa didn't answer, but she moved her bag and made space. For Mia, that was enough. In class, the teacher gave them paper and asked them to draw something about how they feel. Most kids laughed and talked, but Lisa was quiet, focused. She drew two hands holding each other under a big yellow sun. It was warm and bright. When the teacher passed by, she stopped and looked. "That's beautiful, Lisa," she whispered. During lunch, Mia showed Lisa a picture she drew too. "This is me and my cat," Mia said. The cat was orange with big eyes. Lisa looked at it and smiled very softly. Then she took her notebook and slowly turned to one page. It was the picture of the two girls on a bench. Mia looked at it and said, "Is that us?" Lisa gave the smallest nod. Mia smiled wide. That night at home, Lisa felt something she didn't understand. It was not loud like music or bright like lights, but it was warm. She sat on her bed and looked at her drawings. She didn't feel alone this time. Her room was the same, but it didn't feel so far away from the world. For the first time, she didn't feel like hiding. Days passed, and Lisa started to feel a little stronger. She still did not speak much, but something inside her was changing. She began to look at people, not just the floor or the sky. She began to listen more closely. The silence that once felt heavy now felt calm and soft. One morning, Mia brought two small apples to school. "One is for you," she said, and placed it on Lisa's desk. Lisa looked at the apple for a moment, then smiled. It was a small smile, but it was real. "Thank you," she whispered. Mia's eyes grew wide. "Did you just talk?" she asked. Lisa nodded slowly. The teacher noticed the change too. She gave Lisa more chances to draw, write, and express her thoughts. Lisa still didn't speak in front of the class, but she shared her pictures. One day she drew a girl holding a balloon, floating in the sky. The girl was smiling, and her arms were open. The class clapped softly. At home, her parents were amazed. Lisa said thank you today. Her mother told her father with tears in her eyes, "She's coming back to us." Lisa didn't say much, but she started joining dinner. She looked into her parents' eyes when they spoke. She even helped wash the dishes, something she never did before. That night, Lisa sat by her window with a blanket. She looked at the stars and drew quietly. She drew the sky full of stars and two girls looking up. One had short dark hair, like Mia. The other had long hair and a soft smile. Lisa looked at the picture and smiled to herself. She didn't feel alone anymore, not in the way she used to. One day, the school announced an art show. Every student could bring one drawing to hang on the wall. The teacher asked Lisa, "Would you like to share one of your drawings?" Lisa looked at her quietly. She felt scared, but also a little excited. She nodded slowly and said, "Yes, I want to try." At home, Lisa looked through all her drawings. Some were old and dark, full of lonely trees and rainy skies. Others were new and full of light. She picked one with two girls standing in a field of flowers. One girl was laughing, and the other was smiling with her eyes closed. Lisa put the drawing in her bag and closed her eyes. She was nervous, but proud. On the day of the art show, the school hall was full of colours. Parents, students and teachers walked around, looking at all the pictures. Mia stood beside Lisa and held her hand. "Yours is beautiful," she said. Lisa didn't speak, but she smiled and squeezed Mia's hand. Her heart was beating fast, but she felt happy. Lisa's parents came and saw her drawing on the wall. Her mother put a hand over her mouth. "She made this?" she whispered. Her father had tears in his eyes. "It's beautiful," he said softly. Lisa stood near them, quiet but not afraid. She felt seen. For the first time, her pictures were not a secret. They were her voice. That night, Lisa could not sleep. She looked at the stars again, but this time she didn't feel like hiding under a blanket. She felt strong and calm. She was still quiet, but now her silence had meaning. She smiled at the sky and whispered, "I think I'm okay now." And for the first time she believed it. Weeks passed, and Lisa started to speak more. Her words were few, but they came with a smile. She said hello to her teacher, and sometimes answered simple questions. She sat with Mia every day. They laughed, drew together, and shared stories. Lisa still liked quiet, but she was not alone anymore. At home, Lisa talked with her parents. She told them about school, Mia, and her drawings. Her mom listened with happy tears. Her dad hugged her and said, "We're so proud of you." Lisa felt warm inside. For the first time in a long time, she felt safe and free. One day, Lisa gave Mia a small drawing. Two girls were walking under a bright sky. "Thank you for being my friend," Lisa said. Mia smiled and hugged her. "Always," she said. Lisa looked at the sky. The world didn't feel so big and scary anymore. Lisa still didn't talk a lot, but she didn't hide anymore. Her pictures now had colour, light and joy. She had found her voice, not in loud words, but in small moments and kind hearts. And that was enough.